Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unarmored Talk podcast, where we will have real life conversations that helps you develop an accurate way of thinking. And the way we're going to do this is by gaining a better understanding of how feelings, emotions, and thoughts can influence the outcome of a personal and professional challenge. I'm your host, Mario P. Fields, and today's guest is Dr. Erica Miller. She's a three-time author, an international best-selling author. She has done so much in the world, and I mean globally, that it's amazing. And she's probably getting ready to do something right now. She just hasn't announced it yet to the world. Dr. Miller, welcome to Unarmored Talk.
Hey, so glad to join you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And also, ladies and gentlemen, she's a Holocaust survivor. And that's amazing. Can you please tell the listeners and viewers, Dr. Miller, a little bit about yourself?
All right, here we go. I'm a storyteller, so you're going to have to interrupt me.
Let's do it.
I can go on forever. All right, here we go. A girl is not supposed to give her age, all right? But I'm not a normal girl. I just turned 87.
87.
I cannot put my arms around me. And now my favorite is, in 3 years, I'll be 90. I'm still be as vital, as engaged in life, because life is a gift. It's a present and a gift that keeps on giving. And in order for us not to just live long, is living long and well. And I plan to, watch me, to live till 123. Why 123? Somebody died, a woman in France, 122 in 64 days.
Wow.
So I make 123, but not just living, to be relevant, to have a voice, to uplift. It's like Dracula. I live in Transylvania too. So like Dracula with blood. All right. Well, again, I had a normal life till I was about 7, whatever normal means. We lived in a compound with my cousins and aunts and uncles in Czernowitz, Romania. It was Austria before that, so my mother tongue is German. So when I was 7, here mayhem started, German and Romanian, they hunted for the Jews. I couldn't understand what's going on. We were hiding in the attic, But again, we ended up in the train, the cattle train. If anybody saw Schindler's List, I was one of those little kind of, people. And again, different people react differently, speaking about emotions. I was 7 years old, and it's like, I did not understand. I tried to ask questions. And my mother said, don't ask so many questions. My father was on the floor beaten by a German.
Wow.
And I wanted to go to help him, to rescue him. And my mother kept me to me because people were killed all over the place.
Right.
So I entertained myself. We're speaking about resilience, being in the cattle train, people screaming and crying. My sister, 5 years older. So I was there in the corner. And to comfort myself, I started to sing like the motion of the train. Ta, 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 dirty Jews, because I heard dirty Jews, ta, ta. So I sang to myself to comfort myself.
So wow, so you're in the cattle train with, it's
with all those people.
All these people, you're 7 years old, and you start to think in a way to bring comfort to yourself.
You know what? It's just, again, and I don't lie, no fake news.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of trauma. You don't have to be in camp. You could be traumatized, all kind of things. But again, it's like a trauma, how we deal with it. And to me, to be there, and every time a station stopped, they pushed in some more of those dirty Jews with just nothing in your hands. My sister was wailing. She was crying. My mother's first turn. My father was overwhelmed. So again, I started to sing to myself in that corner, dirty little girl in German, schmutzige Juden, schmutzige Juden, to kind of like almost like comfort myself.
Wow.
That is a memory I have. I have many, many memories, but I don't remember a lot. That's what trauma does. So for 4 years, I was in a holding camp.
Wow.
4 years is a long time. I mean, I was not 2 years old. I was 7 to 11. I don't remember any faces. I remember jumping and playing with kids over dead bodies. I remember looking outside the little window and seeing that, okay, maybe tomorrow I will be there dead and they'll pick me up. I don't want to die ugly. I want to pose just before I die. Huh? So
What a great attitude.
So my point being is thoughts and feelings. I know we can learn, and we talk about it a little bit later too, the voice of reason. But again, also, it's like we are who we are because of it, in spite of it. So we were a holding camp, and maybe I'm wrong, but I had lots of diseases, yellow fever and pulmonary disease, whatever.
Right.
I never have any cold. Hey, my mother used to be superstitious. Doesn't mean I cannot get one, but I bet my immune system, it's really fortified from the early diseases in the dirt and the lice, all the things that I experienced. And there was this one woman in this little case, we were all together. Her contorted face, it's like the pain of humanity. I wanted to touch her, and my mother held me strong to herself. So it's like monkeys in Bali. And that face never left me. And that was really the reason why I became a healer. I became a psychologist when the time was right.
Right.
The Russians liberated us. We went back to Chernovitz in Romania. Again, our place was taken away by the Russians. And somehow we made it a few years later. We made it into Israel in 1949, when Israel became a state in 1948. I cannot tell you, because when we came back from camp, I was 11. Somehow I ended up, Romania was a Catholic country.
Right.
So I ended up in fifth grade. I never went to school, but somebody had to teach me in the camp, because I knew math, I knew physics, whatever. So it's like I was in this class and looking around me. So everybody made the cross, and I looked around, is there anybody like me, all alone in the world? So it's like I was there a couple of years, and lots of stories. Read my book. Hey, people, from trauma triumph to trauma to triumph. It's all the details there. But again, when we had an opportunity to go to Israel to feel safe, I cannot tell you what it means. You have to be deprived and scared in order to appreciate freedom. Look at America. If somebody doesn't like him, let him go to Venezuela. I mean, it's safe. It's not perfect, but it's safe. So again, right. in Israel, I was a young girl, 15 years and whatever. So I just had to go to school at night. I had to achieve. I had to understand. I was a curious little kid. I still am. I'm in the process of evolving forever. And so I went to high school at night 3 years, and I had 2 jobs during the day. None of my girlfriends did that. Because if you, when you're 17 and a half, girls as boys have to go to the armed forces. I mean, there's no, girls don't have any privilege. Why would they? They're equals, right? So if you get married, or if you say you're Orthodox, you don't have to go to the army for the girls. I thought it was horrible. The country needed me. So I went to high school, and then I went to the armed forces, and I said, I want to be in the Air Force. And somehow, because I was educated, in the 2 years of empowerment, of being part of the country that is evolving, safety, and never mind those handsome pilots. Are you kidding me?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Doctor.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you. And then, right, so
I thought you were talking about me.
Of course, it's all about you and me. So yeah, so you know what? So I was there, and then 2 years. And you know what? Life is unpredictable. It's the yin and yang. Right. You have to embrace it all. My boyfriend, Aaron, a pilot, adorable, gorgeous. We've talked about the future. Then it was shut down. We were close to the Syrian border.
Wow.
And I said, I will never, ever love again. I'll never, ever allow myself. Losses are horrendous.
Yeah.
So I was an old maid after I went out from the 2 years. I never thought I wanted a man, never want to get married, never kids. It's not safe, because here you get attached and then losses. I never had any friends and all that kind of thing. I'm a little bit damaged. I'm better now than I used to be. So I'm talking to you. I really felt very strong. I worked then for the Israeli government tourist information office because I spoke English. I learned in school, and so I thought, vacation. My sister, meantime, a different story, went to Los Angeles with her family. They barely could make a living in Israel. So they came, they had an aunt or something. I just came to visit. I was an old maid of 24, 25, a girl to
So you didn't have any intentions on staying in the United States. You survived, or you thrived. I won't say survived. You were thriving through all of these personal, professional challenges that a lot of us can't even relate to. I mean, we all have unique experiences. But now you come to the United States to visit, and
I am telling you, I had nightmares. I had such guilt, and that is destiny. I came to just visit, and my sister, my brother-in-law, he was Israeli. They very wanted me to stay there. So they started to introduce me. They went to matchmakers to introduce. I said, I'll have fun. And then I was looking around. I always wanted to be a healer. I could not do it in Israel because the only medical school was in Jerusalem. There's no way there was the money. And when I came here, I realized if I stay, I could do that. I could become a healer. The potential of doing things here. And and that's what destiny is all about. Somebody introduced me to my husband to be. I was married to him 53 years. He died 8 years ago.
So 53 years.
53 years, okay? I was an old maid of 26. And it's another story. It's funny. I'm outside the box. I feel we women, I have more respect than men. Forgive me, women. I have way more respect than men. They cannot fake it.
It's Unarmored Talk.
We girls, right. We girls can fake it. So again, I felt that we're equals. I don't need a daddy, but then I have to participate. So again, my husband to be, I thought, you know what, maybe it was such pressure to get married, to have kids. I said, I mean, you know what, I dated somebody at home, but again, I said, I really didn't love him, but I will go along, right? So destiny had it. I decided to stay here. And after 8 months of dating, I said, Jerry, because there were some other guys there. Once I decided to stay to get my degree, okay, very quietly, nobody knew it. So I said, okay, 8 months, I'm ready to get married. I'd like you to ask me for your wife. A girl is not supposed to do that. So he said, what? It's too soon. Well, Jerry, if not, is today the last time you see me? Do you hear me? That's it. So he said, okay, give me another week. I said, okay, a week, you have it. So, okay, I asked him for his hand, and I can tell you that it's amazing how people end up together. He was a very good partner for me. There was not a love affair that I had with Aaron. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Tell me what love is. It's loyalty. It's having fun. We had a lot of things in common. And we had 2 kids. And when my son was in first grade, I looked, okay, now it's time to go back to school. Nobody knew it. So I said, Jerry, I have decided I want to get my degree. He looked at me, what? You're going to get your PhD? He saw that he could rather be president of the United States than me getting a PhD with 2 kids and a husband.
And at any time did you feel because I remember you lost your first love. So at any time did you feel any emotions of fear or anything when you start to, when you're getting back into this relationship called marriage? Did you go, I hope I don't lose him?
No, see, what happened to me, it made me a really good clinician. I'm very detached. Remember me being in that cattle train and singing to myself, of myself. I knew I will never be in love the way I was the first time. And again, I did not seek it. So to me, this is the thing to do. In order to get there, I need to do that. And he had all the givens. He was tall because I'm barely 5 foot. And I say 5'2", barely 5 foot. He had to be tall because I didn't want little tiny kids if I have any kids. He had to be college graduate. He had to be Jewish, not any longer. If you know anybody, again, I evolved. So, and he was really funny. He was smart. So, yeah, I was very detached. I did not look. It's like, love. What is love? Give me loyalty. Give me devotion.
Right.
So fear, I'm fearless and I'm not stupid. I don't walk on the freeway. But guess what? I climb Mount Everest in Machu Picchu, Inca Trail. I'm going to go to next time when I can. I'm going to go to what are the other mountains to climb. But no, it's like fear is built in our DNA.
Right.
Because remember, fight or flight. I mean, when you are in the bush, our ancestors, I mean, you have to be vigilant because another tribe could come and take you over. A bear could come and eat you up.
Right.
So again, it's constantly, what if? But then again, it's like part of the community, what sustains us. And it's like the voice of reason comes in our life right now.
Right.
It's like, okay, what can I do rather what I cannot do? It's the survival. Because we are not dinosaurs, Mario. We are resilient. Some of us, we can learn it. But again, the survival comes being a part of what if, to be in the moment. What can we do rather what we cannot do? And our survival depends that we're not alone. If we're lucky enough to have a wife, not me, I don't go for a wife, I go for a husband. Huh? So in the community, what sustains us is that kind of, so they initially it's like, oh my gosh, well, it's easier for me. And guess what? It's easier for most older people. The silent generation, they call me. Silent, who is silent? Because I have gone through, the war, in the Nazi, whatever, then there was a war. I was a soldier. I was in the trenches and they were shooting from the border. And I mean, I'm not going to go into the details because we don't have 5 hours, huh? But it's like here somebody dies, you take it and you protect yourself. So
Right.
I've lived through wars, so to me, it is like, okay, this shall also pass. Huh?
Oh, Dr. Mill, if you don't mind me highlighting, I love too how you talked about each experience is different, and how you didn't compare your feelings or your experience in the moment with your husband to your previous relationship and other experiences where you, like you said, you think through and you're in the moment and not going, well, this happened 10 years ago, so it's going to happen again. I think that's very important. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Really important.
Yeah.
For 40 years, I ran 10 mental health clinics and all that. So I've seen personally, I don't know, 100,000. A lot of people. And the biggest thing that I had to work with is like regret. I should have, I could have, what if? All that kind of thing, the stressors that shorten our life, vis-a-vis being in the moment, the present is so important.
Right.
Because you learn from the past. The future may never be, but we have to have visions in order to make things happen.
Right.
But we need to be here. And it's in the moment. And it's not like I'm not in La La Land. And that's what I'm imparting, because all those regrets that keep us handicaps of yesterdays, it's like different chapters in life. Look at me now. It's a different chapter. The time is mine. I dumped people like crazy. Any negativity, shame on me. Who do I think I am? I pick and choose because stress is contagious. If somebody is negative all the time, it affects you, except if you have somebody in the family, you have to learn how to navigate. Huh? But other than that, so different chapters. So it's like the past is gone, learn from it. And nowadays, when it's minimal, the time is different, allow yourself, make yourself. Like me in the castle train, when I sang to myself to comfort myself, make yourself have some visions, because this shall also pass. Crazy times, do what you can. Zoom is better than nothing, huh? Right. Look at me smiling at each other. But have some visions. Not something I'm going to start and fly, I'm going to whatever, but I'm just saying have some visions. Because again, if you're lucky enough to survive, take care of yourself, wear a mask and all that kind of thing. I travel, I have a shield. I look like a space cadet. I go to Austin, Texas. I have a business there. Huh? So again, but I'm going to continue living life. Huh?
Right.
But meantime, have some visions, because it's a good time to introspect, because there's no failure. Guess what? Right. There's no failure.
And I like too how you said, in the thinking process, how use the future use the past as a learning experience. Um, imagine the future, but you can't control the future. So, and then focus your efforts in the moment, right? The moment is every day, right now, what you can see, touch, and feel. I like that dynamic. That I like the way you laid that out, Doctor.
And again, we are speaking the good part is because fear is a handicap. People keep themselves hostage. What if, what if? And what I am telling you, I don't need to tell you, you're doing your stuff. It's like, in order for you to be able to make something happen, you have to have vision. Okay. And the good thing is there's no risk because you don't act on it. Allow yourself to entertain, to envision what you can do. This, you always wanted to paint, but I'm not a good painter. Who cares? How about the joy of just doing a Picasso? I don't care. So having visions, it's again something that one can do right now, because without a vision, anybody, anytime, you can never make things happen. And the biggest thing is that it's like, what if fear of failure and all that? And it's such a fucking, it's such a shame to again, what if, hey, if something doesn't work out, then something else can happen.
Right.
Israelis, they're absolutely fearless. And I was there, I lived there for 8 years, and I emulated that stance of being straightforward. There's nothing off the table. You should see I have a group of young girls, young in their 50s. So they call me Miller Muse because I'm one of the girls. But it's like, there's nothing that we cannot talk. I'm going to watch it because I'm on, I don't know who's going to see and judge me. But it's like, you fear, there's no such thing. One door closes, another one opens. And I know that most people, the safety is important. Most people need a paycheck at the end of the month. Very few people like you and me are adventurers, are leaders. That again, I get paid when it's left over. I have employees in Austin, Texas. They get paid first. And then, so there is a risk, but
right.
The leaders are more, not that any less, it's part of being a team.
Right.
But there's no such things as failure. If that is, it's like life is terribly short. And you have, life, I have many mantras. One that I really like good. Life takes guts, grit, and gusto. Guts, courage. Grit is perseverance. You take a degree, huh? And gusto, grateful. Enjoy the moment, because who do you think you are? What does life owe you? This is a gift. And again, just celebrate. And by the way, faith is a real wonderful thing if you can have it.
Yeah.
There's a God that you can conceptualize. I don't have Jesus. So yeah, he was my cousin, so I don't worry about that anymore. But again, it's like spiritual, because there's something more than us. It's amazing. And I'm a little philosopher, among other things. Can you imagine that the same thing, the part of our, cells, whatever the tsetse flies in the rock, everything is interconnected. So there is something, I'm not Einstein, but there's something more, but I struggle with God, so who cares? But living long and well, my research in my last book, Chronologically Gifted, all over the world, people that live long and well, they care about themselves. Take care of self before you take care of others, eat well, exercise, be part of the community, have faith, whatever, and just put out. When you put out, you get back.
Doctor, if I may, a couple of questions before we close this out. Number one, I know the listeners and viewers would like to know, where can they purchase some of your energy? So can you share with the listeners and viewers, how can they get just maybe an ounce or two of that energy you have?
Obviously, it's a few things, but just grateful, gusto to be alive. I cannot believe my good fortune. And you don't have to come where I'm coming from. Such close calls, and I'm still here.
Right.
So be grateful to be in life, taking good care of self, because some are enablers, everybody's more important than you. So we're speaking about, never mind Mediterranean diet. Don't tell me the word diet. Eat well, exercise, wiggle is important, very important. And then make sure that you're part of a community, that the natural high, when you're involved, when you do something for others, that makes you feel like Tarzan. I don't know the wife of Tarzan. So it is not that complicated. It's around, I think, purpose and passion. Surround yourself with people like-minded. And to me, it is, I know I'm here. What do I know? And there's a good chance I'm going to live still
At least 120.
120 is boring. It's in the Bible. I want to go beyond it. But again, nothing is unfinished. Mario, I know people will think I'm crazy. I'm not very normal.
No.
I have a casket on the bottom of my bed, a beautiful piece of furniture, and I had an artist paint me like an angel with the hands there. And inside I have instructions from my kids, what I want them to say, how wonderful, how lucky I was.
Right.
And it's like, again, I will, everything is in order to the end. So now I can be in the moment till I check out, and being relevant and purposeful. And guess what? If I can do it, you can do it. I don't know about the casket, huh? But again, it's not if, it's when. I'm not dead yet. I miss myself already. I like to live forever.
What a mindset and a way to think about life. I mean, this is amazing. And I know after this episode, after our listeners and viewers watch this episode, Dr. Miller, they're going to want to find you. So where can the thousands of people find Dr. Erica Miller?
You have to, again, Amazon, my books are all three of them. The book that I think is most relevant, the first one, From Triumph, it's about my life story. But the middle one is, listen to that, Don't Tell Me I Cannot Do It. Live audaciously in the here and now. That's a self-help book, all right? And then I am on Facebook. I have a website, whatever, because every week I put on inspirational talks like I do right now. So look me up. And if you say it's from Mario, because I get a lot of requests to be friends, and I don't accept it unless I know somebody, because I'm spooked. Yeah, I'm still a little girl. I'm spooked. I will accept you, my Facebook friend, and then you can watch me rock. I jumped out of a plane. I plan to do to the mountain Kilimanjaro. I've not hiked yet. So when things are okay, I'm going to get tools. But my point being is I am relevant, the voice of reason, because, it's scary. There's drama. There's a lot of pain. Losses suck. Look at all that goes around, but we are still not dinosaurs. Those of us that are going to survive will be better and wiser. And again, there's a follow me. If I can do it, you can do it. The attitude has a lot to do with it. What can I do? Yeah, you can do. The brain, the plasticity of the brain helps us like a muscle, but you have to exercise it. No, negative, go away. Whenever the negative thought comes, it's like the devil, be miserable. You don't deserve to be here. And then the angel says, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Right. And don't let the devil drag you down.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have interviewed a lot of people. I would probably say, if I had an award for the most energetic guest on the show, Dr. Erica Miller would get it. But you heard her books, where you could find her. You could put her in your favorite search engine, and she will definitely pop up. I am blessed and honored to just be in your company, Doctor. Is there any last remarks or advice you want to leave the listeners and viewers?
You know what? Obviously, there's not one thing, but again, you are what you think you are. Remember, if you think, again, feelings are irrational. I look in the mirror and I say, I look pretty good. And the next second, I see some pimple there. So again, the voice of reason, be your nurturing parent. Some of us had some and some not. So we are speaking of attitude is a lot to do with it. And it's never too late. Not a big deal. That negativity, stressing you out, what if, and what the fear, whatever, shortens life. And life is terribly short. So if I can do it, you can do it. And Mario, we shall meet again, aren't we?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you can't get rid of me. So you're permanently stuck with me forever, Doctor.
I like that. And take good care of yourself. You know the formula. So you can live, because you're so much younger. Yeah, 29, I don't know. But there is somebody already born that's going to live till 150 years.
Unarmored Talk, I'm 45.
But you are, but again, age is a number. And again, people that are way younger, they're old. Never mind, old soul is good, because they are the accumulation of a gene pool,
Right, yeah.
Attitude, and we can change our attitude. I'm not in La La Land. I'm telling you, the revolution of the brain. Why don't you go to Google and see what they say about it? It's amazing how the negative thoughts or the fear, whatever, then you change from the devil to the angel. And by thinking that just like the muscle, I have big muscles, weights, 10 pounds, you can alter. And it's also that you can live longer and well, because life is a gift.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys heard it from Dr. Erica Miller. You can watch this episode on my YouTube channel at Mario-P-Field/YouTube. You can put in your search engine and subscribe. You can also download and listen to this episode on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. Again, if you think that Unarmored Talk is a good podcast, make sure you leave us a review and a rating. But until next time, we'll see you later.
Take me with you.
Bye-bye, doctor.
Bye-bye.